powerful words to kind of just simplify life to a sentence, right? Royalty is my identity. Servanthood is my assignment. Serving, whether it be in business, sport, media, your family, community, whatever that might look like for you personally. But servanthood is my assignment. But serving without intimacy is obviously dead, right? But intimacy with God is my life source. That's where I draw life from. That is my charger to my phone. That is the charger to the laptop. That is where we get the true power from at the end of the day. So I would love to share just a quick list. It's going to be tough because yesterday it took me about, I think, an hour or so to share this particular list. So, and it's a short little list of things that some ships in our lives that we all need. So my wife and I on Saturday we watched it seemed promising, like this series seemed pretty promising, and then it hit the scene there, and it's like, okay, now let's cut this sucker off right now.
Yeah.
And we were over it. I didn't get to that part though, but my wife, I went for a walk or something, but then my wife just cut the thing over there. Praise God for conviction, which is great. But it's a series that's about like ships, right? Ships that sail and so forth. Ne?
Yeah.
A lost ship.
Yes.
Yeah, but there was another ship, so there's two ships, plural. Okay? So it's about ships.
What's the name?
18.
Oh, is it? Because I was scrolling for Netflix yesterday, and also
Ja. Ag, hy begin.
the preview looked nice.
Ja.
So I was wondering.
Ja,
maybe I should
dit
try
moet
it.
daar-
Ja, en toe sit soos die priest wat met die ou begin vry en toe sit raak so garra.
Yeah, and it's just like, it was very
Maar dit is soos 'n
promising.
murder mystery, dit begin soos murder mystery, is baie cool.
Yeah, and then then the
Yeah.
priest starts doing these things there with
Okay.
yeah.
Thanks for warning.
Yeah, we got paused for the first episode. It seemed pretty clean,
Yeah.
and then it just
Episode
went
2. Yeah.
way
Aye,
left field.
aye.
But anyways, so we were watching this. I was watching the first. My wife and I were sitting on the couch, busy watching this thing, and then the Holy Spirit reminded me, like some time ago, I saw this cool little picture on ships. There's certain ships in your life. And then he started to just bring on this whole thing. So he gave me a whole list of some ships, some very important ships that you need within your life. And they might seem very, very small. Some might be very, very big, but they make a massive impact. They actually have a massive impact on your life, these ships over here. So here's a couple of them, and hopefully we get through the entire list. Right? There's 8 of them in particular, but some of them have got like a 3-in-1 over there, so it's going to be awesome. You guys are going to enjoy this, I believe. Well, I hope so. But here are some important ships that we need in our lives. These are not wants, these are needs within our lives. And the first one is a 3-in-1 over there. Here's a ship that you need in your life, and the first ship is relationships. You know, you think about that is relationships. We are built for community. All right, and every single one of us, even if you think that you're someone who's kind of walking solo, going solo through life, it's not the truth. You have a relationship, all right, at least with the bread company, because you bought some bread at that bread company. There's people that work there, so you have a relationship with the bread company and all these different types of things. But relationships, all of us have got certain relationships. However, some relationships kind of drag you down, other ones lift you up. I honestly, personal opinion, I believe that the most important relationship that you can have and must have within your life is ultimately your relationship with God. Very, very important relationship to continuously develop and just cultivate moving forward. Your relationship with God. The second most important relationship, I believe, in my opinion, of course, you might have a different opinion, but in my opinion at least, I believe is the relationship that you have with yourself. The relationship that you have with yourself. We try and encourage the youth that before they consider dating someone else, they need to first date themselves.
Ja.
It's a piece of advice that I think can really serve all of us tremendously well, because if you can't stand yourself, what makes you think that someone else might be standing you, right? Understand? And then obviously thirdly, in the context of romantic relationships, is your relationship with your spouse. A very, very important relationship that you need to continuously develop and cultivate moving forward. 2 pieces that really, I think, add to a successful relationship with your spouse or partner is, number one, how to cultivate it is to, number one, put God first in that particular relationship, because He is our life source. He is love. If you don't have Him, it's very tough for you to love at the end of the day. So number one, to put God first, and secondly, to never stop dating. To never stop dating. It's a constant pursuit. God, in our relationship with Him, He encourages us to seek, right? So I believe the same in our relationships with one another from a romantic point of view, is to continue to date one another moving forward. It's strange sometimes where, especially as men, what we tend to do is you do everything that you possibly can to finally to hook her, to reel her in, and now you have her, and then you're like, oh, okay, and then you just like stop the whole dating thing over there, and it begins to fizzle out. I remember for our premarital counseling, some very valuable pieces of advice that we received was, and the analogy that the uncle gave over there, Uncle Mike, he said that, for example, you go and service your car, right, every X amount of kilometers and so forth, but when is the last time that you serviced your marriage? Meaning, when did you go and get some new tools to be empowered by in order to grow more as a couple moving forward? So a very valuable piece of information there. And from a marriage, obviously, the next step would ideally be children, right? So a very important relationship to cultivate within your life is your relationships with your children and so forth, or your greater family on the outside, or friends, and those are other relationships that are extremely important. The one guy really had his head screwed on right. He said these words, he made this statement, he said, I am filthy rich in relationships.